Welcome to Riga, the heart of Latvia. Nestled in the Baltic region of Northern Europe, we have Russia to my east and the Baltic Sea to my west. For the next 7 days, I'm going to be training with football club FK Meta. They're in the top division in Latvian football, the Virslīga, and I want to see if I've got what it takes to play at this level. Some of the top teams in the division play European football. And number two, I want to discover Riga. I want to see what this city has to offer. I want to find out why they call Riga a hidden gem of a city, but I also want to find out how they plan to compete with the powerhouses of other parts of Europe and European football. Latvian football is in an exciting phase right now. There's a lot of opportunities to develop within the league, get games, get minutes, but also for commercial opportunities, stuff off the pitch. It's growing right now. Tomorrow morning we wake up and it's my first day of training with FK Meta. Looking forward to it. We'll see how I go. Morning one in Latvia. Early rise for me this morning, about 6:30. We'll be heading over to training for about 11 AM. It's 9 AM. Training starts at 11. I've just received a message to be at this location by 10:30 just this morning, so it's very last minute. I am currently en route to FK Meta's training ground. It's about 30 minutes outside of Riga, so we're driving straight there and we're going to meet the team, meet the coaches, have a look around the facilities, and we're going to train. The whole concept is to experience and showcase different countries, different types of football, different cultures, show that it is more accessible than you think. There are opportunities out there, but you have to put yourself out there to get them. So stay tuned. Here we go. Apologies. Where are we? I don't think we're going to be training on this. Let's try and find the training ground. 4-minute walk away. We're getting warm. You can see football goals. This is what we want. This is where we're going, I think. Hi, I'm Sam.
I'm Yanis.
Yanis, nice to meet you. This is one of the coaches.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm Sam.
Alvis.
What's your name?
Alvis.
Alvis. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Noah.
Noah? Sam. Nice to meet you. Players got their own specific areas?
Pretty full.
Pretty full?
Yeah.
Where should I go?
You can go, I think, there.
Next door?
Yeah.
Sam? So the team that I'm training with this week, FK Meta, they classically finished 9th in the Virslīga. There are 10 teams. It is a very new league. The league structure only became a thing in 1991 after 50 years of Soviet rule here. I was a little bit nervous turning up here. Obviously it's a bit nerve-wracking going into a new changing room, especially when no one speaks the language, but everyone's pretty friendly, and at the end of the day football is a common language, so it's easy to fit in. The intensity was good, standard was good. This is the top division, so it's the highest league that you can possibly play in Latvia. I didn't feel out of place, which was good. Extremely professional as well. What I love is that they had everything laid out before the session begins, which is exactly what you want as a player. You want to go from drill to drill to drill, different staff taking each part of the session. The biggest noticeable difference is the warm-up. It's very European. There's a lot more like agility-based stuff, coordination stuff, football-based warm-up rather than the classic Scottish where you just run in 2 lines and warm up. So where you have to use your brain, I managed okay despite the language barrier. The staff here, the coaches here, talking Latvian first and then they explain in English, and their English is very good. There are some English-speaking players in the team, boy from America. There are some African lads, obviously now Scottish lad. There's another English lad on trial. But the majority, the bulk of the team are Latvian. After training, I got to chat to Jordan Bender, a player from the USA who plays for FK Meta. I asked him about his journey through football and why he's now playing in Latvia.
So I played at Orlando City and Cape Town City, and they were bringing in a lot of like big name players. So it was hard for players coming out of the academy like me to play. And that's why I came here. At that point in my career, it was after Cape Town City. I was basically at home for 6 months playing Sunday League, UPSL, and training on my own. And then this comes up. I wanted to make sure that it was something out of my power that this allowed me to continue. I didn't want it to be myself just giving up on myself.
It was really interesting hearing the perspective of a foreign player in the league, and it highlighted to me the risk footballers are willing to take in order to achieve their dreams. In Jordan's case, he's come all the way from America. It's a long way, no friends, no family here. He's putting himself out there. Footballers' lives aren't that exciting. You know, they wake up, they train, they eat, they recover, they sleep, and they do the same again the next day. It's difficult to socialise because you can't necessarily stay late out late at night, you can't drink so much, which is what majority of people will be doing at this age. So it's difficult to make friends, I suppose, but you do have to sacrifice a lot. And if you're not willing to sacrifice, the reality is you're probably not going to become a footballer. After day one of training, it was time for us to refuel ahead of tomorrow's training. We arrived at lunch, and this was one of 2 locations where the players have access to food. The players in the squad on professional contracts are provided with yellow tokens which gets them a free meal. Players use one for lunch and the second for getting a boxed up meal to take home for dinner. The academy players will sometimes chance their luck with the pros and see if any of them are willing to share their free tokens. If not, it's €6 per meal, which is still pretty reasonable. The food options were fantastic and I tucked into a delicious lunch before visiting some more of the club's facilities. Now we're going to check out the gym that the players use, and that's usually what their day consists of. Morning training, lunch, paid for by the club, and then access to the gym, so we're going to check it out. So this is the gym where the players get to use again for free, part of the club. Obviously it's a shared space, so there's multi-sports in there. Looks like we've got some basketball players. Good facilities for the players to access and help them develop. And with that, I headed back to my dorm in the old town of Riga to get some well-needed rest ahead of day 2 of training. Day 2 of training. Yesterday was good, my legs were a little bit sore, but we're wrapped up, ready to go. Today's training is meant to be a little bit harder. Beautiful day, nice grass pitch, no complaints. Pretty nice training kit though, isn't it? Try and see if I can take this home with me. It was a little bit tougher today. They've got a game in 2 days, so we did some shaping ahead of the game. We also did some small sided games, which is good. The majority of the team's 20, 21 years old. There's a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm for the players. So interestingly, there's actually another trialist here from England, a guy called Russell. I think he's about 18 or 19. Goes to show you there are opportunities to come out here. He's got no promises, no guarantees of anything, but he's taking a little bit of a risk by flying out here, not speaking the language and putting himself in the kind of shop window of a different country. My advice for any young players watching this is, first of all, make a connection, make some sort of contact. Don't just get a flight to Latvia and expect to get an opportunity. You have to make connection prior to leaving wherever you're from, and then you'll get an opportunity. There are a lot of different leagues here in Latvia that you could go into and train. It's very easy for players to progress and develop here because there's lots of games, 2 games a week. This First Liga is a full-time environment. The wages aren't incredible. The salaries for players here can range from as little as £700 per month all the way to 50k, and that 50k is the outliers like Riga, the very top teams here. But the majority are somewhere around that 700 to maybe 1600 euros per month. That's a pretty standard amount. So it's not a lot of money, but the opportunity is in the football, not the wages. Right now the club looks after the players. Foreign players have accommodation, they get food tokens for their lunch and dinner, they obviously get paid. It's a pretty perfect environment if you're a footballer. This is a pretty cool place to be. After training, I should have left home to the city with some of the FK Meta players. This was a great opportunity to get to know more about some of the homegrown members of the squad.
My name is Artem Puzarevskis, so I'm 21, Latvia. One interesting fact, the Latvian roles are fully I'm from academy. I play from 12 years old, yeah. I come to Meta. I go inside all academy, and after since 17 I debut in first team.
What's your favourite thing about Latvia?
It's beautiful nature, and it's like one of this on the countries which have like 4 seasons. Like you have winter, you have summer, and it's like it's nice to be in all these like 4 seasons.
You can give us it back, bro. You can give us it back.
Okay. I don't know if I should start interviewing
Good job.
you, bro.
Hey, why not? Why not? Good job though, good job. With day 2 coming to a close, I spent a moment reflecting over my first 2 days of training here in Latvia. My performances in training have been decent and I was starting to feel a lot more comfortable amongst the squad. With one final day of training left, I headed for an early night with the hope of grabbing a chat with the manager in the morning to find out what he's thought about me so far. It was my final day of team training here in Latvia. They've got a game tomorrow, and that's why we're at a different location today. This is the pitch that they'll play on. This isn't actually their home pitch, but their grass isn't ready. This grass is, it's lovely. So we're in a place called Jurmala. It's on the coast, on the beach, so it's a pretty nice spot. The final day of training for me at FK Meta was a typical matchday -1 training session. A fun activation warm-up, followed by some small-sided games, shaping and set pieces. This is always an interesting day as players. Some managers will keep their team a secret until matchday, and others do the opposite. At Meta, the non-starters were bibbed up to create a team to play against the starting players. And this is the moment you notice some players' heads drop, whilst others use it as fuel for the session to show why they should be playing. I sat down with Andres Rehertz, co-founder and head coach of FK Meta, to find out more about the club and also what he thought about me over the last 3 days of training.
When we started this club, actually we wanted to make something different. We take 3 pillars. It's family, it's football and education. I'm born in Soviet Union. The times in 90s was totally different than maybe you have in Scotland or somewhere else in Europe. So when we travel around Sweden, Denmark, Finland, we see that everybody have a ball, everybody have a bottle of water, everybody have a training kit. At that moment in Latvia, we doesn't have some kind of things.
The Meta Academy, I heard it was the biggest in the Baltics. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's correct. We have full from 4 years old until the highest division. We have the same women's.
As a head coach, what do you look for in a player?
They need to manage all the things by self-confidence. They already understand that nobody will do his job. They need to do. It's not only play good at football, because if you have problems outside, I think you will have these problems also on the pitch.
How would you give my performance in training over the last few years? I know you've not seen much, but
your quality for the trainings very good. I don't know how in the game.
Good answer.
But in the trainings was very good. You're already more mature. You have been in a lot of countries and playing football. This is also added value for our young players. When you are defender, you communicate with your attacker in defense. So this is important. And also how you want to manage the situation. I also tell to some players that he communicates simple football things. It's very important that we're not standing, but we communicate. We're searching for solutions. This is important.
Coming in here with the maturity of being 26 years old now, I understand that you have to communicate, you can't be shy, you can't be nervous, you have to be quite bold, quite brave, even if you don't know anyone, even if you don't speak the language. That leaves an impression 100%, so that would be probably my advice to any player watching this. If you are turning up to a new club, be super bold, brave, confident. Easy to say now from my perspective. I wasn't like that when I was 18. I was a bag of nerves, probably low in confidence because I hadn't played any professional games, but that is the mindset you have to have. Training here though, as I said, super professional setup, lots of staff, lots of good coaches around the place, and obviously exciting time for the club as well, looking to build their new facility, their new campus/complex. So there are opportunities here for them to bring in foreign players and then help them develop. Life inside the team at FK Meta is a pretty nice one. After an epic few days experiencing life inside the team here at FK Meta, it was time for me to experience what else Riga and Latvia has to offer. I'll be meeting historical experts, trying local food and drinks, meeting local super fans, along with some football experts to find out what life is like beyond the pitch here in Latvia. Don't forget to let me know in the comments which team, city and country you'd like me to visit next. I'm Sam Wardrop, and this has been The World Through Football.